Hello. Transgender people, they don't know their self. They're confused about who they are. They don't know how to occupy their biology. To be a man, heterosexual man, you know around, well before it's time to have sex, you know you like girls. You're not confused about it. And then once you become fully adult, you need your whole life to even operate your body with your own biology, which is correct. Biology is given to you in response to the outside world.
The gift of God, whatever. You want to say he made a mistake and you're somehow... You could be gay. You could be gay and then be gay. But see, now transgender, this new phenomenon, is more fucked up. Because the person who's gay isn't even able to... They're being beat up by the programmers because they're not even allowed to just be gay. They've got to pretend to turn into a woman and go through all the surgery. And that's dangerous to their health. And it's sad because it's not only a perspective that's being pushed, it's being pushed because they want to do harm. Not those people, but the controllers. They want to make transhumans. That's the ultimate goal. A transhuman would be someone who doesn't know that their brain is going to atrophy whenever the computer starts doing shit for it. You're not going to be a human. You're going to be so less than you. It's not a good idea. It's really a bad idea. Can they make inorganic body parts or organic body parts into a machine? I would think that would be more moral, considering like the soul point of view. Because if you take a human and you start to modify them, you're going to lose the human fast. And I think science in the future will bear this out, because this is not a pathway for any sensible person that knows their self. See, we're supposed to know ourselves. Remember that? It's on top of the columns. Know thyself. It tells you that Delphi. Because if you was to go to Delphi looking for some fucking oracle to tell you some shit, basically that's their disclaimer. Know thyself. Because that really is a disclaimer. If you know yourself, you wouldn't be having to ask the oracle. Dumbass. And it's not to say that the oracles don't have a use. There's a lot of reasons why people use different things to communicate to divine. But you don't need any of that. My interaction with God is, God showed me where there's a certain amount of presence that God, the one that I interact with and have a relationship, brings, that does have a subordinate level, where I do want to divine and I do want to enter into activity, but there's another holiness to, like, when the presence drops in on you and taps you on the shoulder. It's like, it's almost like a near-death experience, to be honest. And these are all the nuanced things that a being called a human, which is a spiritual being that's having the human body experience at this time. I'm a spirit. I'm always here. I've always been. My dad's always been. Sometimes he might have been my brother. Sometimes I might have been his dad, different times, previous times. We're aware of this possibility. And we're in awe of it when we push that concern of it as a fact over, and we put that over into the holdings of the Lord. Now, the presence of the Lord, the Holy Lord, whatever that thing is, it's none of my business to say what it is for you, but it is. It is. And it partakes with just as much as what you think you are, yourself. as do you. Which really is why there's a whole sin, there's the whole concept of sin and, the separation. Because to have this experience, we have to have lack of that experience. To be present in body is to be absent with the Lord, and to be absent of body is to be present with the Lord. That's a very simple way to say that when you're free of your body, you're with God. Now, the only middle ground to consider then after that is the beings that have fallen out of fellowship with God. That would be the angelics, the watchers, and the like. And that's even, that too is made easy work of when you put all the perspectives in at play, because they're just messengers for God to us. And if you watch the progression of how people interact with that, it would make sense that today, now there's weird alien shit going on. Because in a way, God is interacting with you through that. But even the fallen parts of God, called the angels and demons, if it were allowed by your concepts, your thought forms, and all the bullshit that you bring to the table, because you bring a lot to the table, being the being who is in fellowship with the omnipresent God, because you don't see the God on me. You don't see it. I can only tell you that I have a relationship with the living God. And it goes through something like Jesus. And I'm more or less Christian, but I don't like taking those terms because they don't fit me, because of the personal relationship that I have with Christ. It's personal. So he doesn't allow me to take those things and put them into greater fellowships. Like, I don't go to the same church, but I believe in church as a concept. It's just, I think we're in spiritual warfare, like at the final round warfare right now. So I'm very careful on what I divulge. But I pity the transgender person, and I'm very ashamed of the people that push this thing from the controller perspective. Anyone sitting at the CIA federal level and up, you're all out of bounds. You're on blast. What you've done and what you've chose not to do in respect to our nation, and as you're in a position of government, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.